It's time for Film-o-rama!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 11 of Film-o-rama. I'm Logan Marks.
And I'm Sam Baxter.
And this week's masterpiece of cinema are Morbius and Day Shift, and these are both on Netflix. So what's been going on, Sam?
Not too much. Actually, just a real quick story before you talk about your life. But I actually went to the office and I ran into an old guy that I used to work with many years ago. This guy's like a Vietnam vet, right? And he used to like, he used to talk to me. I used to work with him, like close with him, and he'd tell me a lot of stories they did and stuff. And he was a Vietnam vet. He was a medic, and then he became a policeman. And so he had a lot of stories. I used to fuck with him back in the day. But me and another guy, we saw him that we used to work with him, and we're like, "Hey, Dan, how you doing?" And Dale's like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" and stuff. And the other guy, Jeff, would be like, kind of fuck with him, kind of like we'd always used to kind of like, kind of like act like we were in a swing on him, but we wouldn't. But so we used to do that back in the day. And then like I saw him again, and Jeff and I saw him, and I was like, "Hey, Dale, how you doing? How you been?" He's like, "Oh, retired. Kids are growing. My daughter has finally got married and blah blah blah. Just okay. It's cool."
Yeah.
And I go, "Hey, Dale, so what's been going on new with you and everything?" And he starts telling me as he does it, I swing at him. Like hold my punch, but I swing.
It's out of nowhere.
He puts his hands up. And he tries to block it. And so I'm like, "Oh shit, is he Dale? If I was really want to swing on you, I would have killed you right there." He's like, "Fuck, bullshit." He's like, "Bullshit." And I'm like, "No, Dale, man, I had you." And he's like, "No, he wouldn't." And then as soon as he says that, I do like those stupid karate chops, like I'm gonna get him, and I do it again. And he all tries to block me. He tries to grab my head. And he tries to maneuver me, like tries to grab me and like take me down, and I pull away. I was like, "Fuck, Dale, I would have killed you again." And then I got out of your move, and I go, "I would have just fucking reversed it and just put you down on the ground." "Fuck you." He's like, "What?" He's just getting all mad.
He's getting all upset.
He's getting all bullshit. And then and then it was like, all right, Dale. So anyway, then I just kind of do like a stupid kick, like a really lame ass kick, and he all tries to grab it. He tries to catch it and block it.
You're like, the pandemic's made you weak, son.
And after that, he's all like trying to go after me. He's all like hunting me down.
He's all chasing you down the hallway, trying to catch you.
We're in the parking garage, and he's all like trying to get me. He's all like, his eyes are all like wild, like feral, like a feral cat, like trying to get.
Like he doesn't know how to be around humans anymore.
I just kept saying, "Dude, man, I almost killed you 3 times right now." I was like, "You would have died." And he's like, "Fuck you, bullshit." He just keeps saying that, bullshit. That's just like his answer to everything. And now he won't let me like get close to like swing or anything. But it was good, man. It was nice seeing him again. And but that was his answer to everything. Bullshit. I was like, "Fuck now, man, you get too slow, you're getting weak, son." He's like, "Fuck you." Like he never wanted anyone to best him, because he was, like I said, he was, he was Vietnam. He was a cop for like 25 years and stuff. And
so you like he thinks like you got the best of him, and so now he's all
pissed
off
he
about
doesn't want me to get the best. He doesn't want anybody to get the best of him. So he just like, it's like his pride taking over, and I knew that, so I have to just kind of fuck with him, act like I'm gonna hit him. I'm not gonna hit him, right? But he's I just act like I am. And he's like, he takes it all serious, like we're like Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighters, and he's got to like fucking prepare and defend. And it was good times. It's good to see people sometimes.
It sounds like you're like you were happy to be out of the office or be back in the office.
It was good. It was good to see some people, and I hadn't seen him in a while, so it's good to know that he's still doing okay. And Dale, if you're out there, man, I almost killed you. You're lucky I held back.
I just want you to know I'm the only reason you're still alive.
Yeah. You can send a Christmas card to me thanking me for letting you live.
Thank you for your life.
Now you owe me. So what's been going on with you?
Oh, not much. It's just another week in fucking dipshit land. Okay, there's this guy I work with. His name's they call him Dumb Danny because he's
Dumb Danny.
Well, that's what I call him anyway.
Okay, that sounds like a good name.
Yeah, he just goes by Danny, but I just put the dumb in there because
too dumb. Dumb Danny fits. Got it.
So apparently, like he thinks that I cause everything that he does wrong is like my fault.
What?
Because he doesn't want to take accountability for his own actions.
Oh, fuck.
So it was but yeah, this is one of those kind of people. But this one was kind of funny because so we have a conveyor belt that goes up next to a stairway. So it's where we store all our back inventory, and so we put it on the conveyor belt. It shows it carries it up to the top. You stop it, you can grab the stuff, and then you can store it. Take it off and store it. Mm-hmm. So we put paint cans up there sometimes, and they're full paint cans, like 1 gallon paint cans. Mm-hmm. And his job was to take some of the paint cans that we got, put them on the shelves, and whatever we didn't have left on the shelves, to take them up the conveyor belt and put them on the shelving up there. Okay. So he goes and at this point,
it's going to be like a tedious, kind of tough job, but if you have intelligence, you could probably do it.
No, it's not that hard because it's only maybe like.
That's what I'm saying.
It's probably like maybe like 12 paint cans, so it's it shouldn't have been that big of a deal. Okay. So I leave early, and he's doing the closing shift, so I left, and so he's by himself, and this is a job that high school kid do, probably somebody in middle school can probably get this done without any problems.
Okay.
So he goes.
Not dumb Dan, I take it.
So he goes and he puts the cans on the conveyor belt, but he stacks them too high. Like, 2 cans high.
Oh.
All right. Now, you got to remember, this conveyor belt goes up at almost a 45-degree angle. It goes up pretty.
You don't want to stack those fucking things high.
Yeah, so you don't even want to. He should have kept them in the boxes, but for some reason, he took all of them out because they come in a box of 4, right? So, but he took all the cans out of the boxes, stacked them 2 cans high in a row. Mm-hmm. And so when he pushed the button to make the conveyor belt move, they started going on, and they fucking tipped over, and one of them hit hard enough that the lid came off, and there's fucking paint everywhere.
Oh,
so no. I wasn't there. But the store manager was there.
Oh, no. Okay.
And he had just went up the stairs before he did this and looked at it and goes like, is he seriously going to put that up there? But he was thinking maybe he will catch that, or maybe he's not that dumb. Maybe he will see what he's doing. He's like, maybe he's just setting them there until he's ready to do whatever he's going to do. So he's
like, this guy cannot be that.
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah, basically, yeah.
I can't. I'm not going to worry because nobody will be that.
Yeah,
dumb
nobody would be that dumb.
Okay. Nobody could be that stupid.
So he went up the stairs and went up to go do what he was doing, and all of a sudden, when he gets up there, he hears this crash, and then all he hears is like, oh God, oh my God, fucking this, just scream like a angry little tiny leprechaun, just angry little Irish fighter, just getting all pissed off. Like, oh my God, just cussing and screaming. All right, so he goes back, looks down there, sees paint everywhere, and he's covered in paint, and he's and it's all just white paint all over the place. Mm-hmm. So and he goes down there and he's like, what's going on? He's like, Logan made me do this. Logan told me to do this.
Oh shit! Logan made you do this?
Yeah, like
you had a gun to his head.
Yeah, like I'm
stack
the one...
him up high or you're fucking gone.
Yeah,
I'm gonna blow you away.
Yeah, and then he's looking at him like, oh my God, you're a dumb piece of shit.
Yeah, how stupid you fucking. Dumber than paint.
So I'm at home. And
yeah.
so
Wait, he's blaming you and you're at home?
Yeah, I wasn't even there. I hadn't been there for like an hour.
Oh, God. Shit. This guy's fucking stupid.
I know, but this guy's done this before to me. Like whenever he does something wrong, or because he's done stuff where like he'll try to put something on a cart. One time he tried to put something on a cart, and on the top of the cart, or basically they call boats. There's like these things that we carry our inventory on. Mm-hmm. And he tried to put it on one corner, but he's kind of a short guy, so he had trouble getting it on top, and it was kind of a heavy box. Mm-hmm. And so he ended up he got it on top, but he couldn't get it like completely on there firmly enough so it could sit. So he started pushing it, but the boat has these wheels on it, so if you push one side, it'll just go in a circle. Right? So basically he tried to push it, and then he's like running and trying to catching up to it because it kept circling. So he was like running in a circle like 3 times, trying to keep the box on there, and then so it just keeps spinning. So I'm watching him. He's just running in a circle, turning his boat around, almost like he's on like a carousel. Mm-hmm. And I'm just watching him. I can't stop laughing because it looks so funny. Because he's all he had to do is like stop and just put the box back down, but he kept trying to push it, and so he's like going in a circle, and then I finally had to grab the thing. I had to grab the boat to stop it, so that he could. Because if I didn't, he would eventually fall down.
You should have let it go, man.
Because he was getting tired from running around in the circle.
He couldn't figure it out. Jeez.
And I was like, oh my god. But anyway, he. Yeah, he tried. So and then he would do stuff like that, and if he like there was equipment that he was supposed to know how to use, because that's what they gave him the job for, because he's supposed to be a specialist in this field. Mm-hmm. But if he doesn't know how to do it, he blames me because I didn't train him.
What?
Yeah,
if he's a so-called specialist, why are you supposed to train him?
But the thing is, it's not my job to train him. So he just blames me because I'm in that department area. And because he's like, oh, I was not taught to do this, but there, and when he tells me that, I was like, I have to explain to them. I was like, look, I've taught this guy several times how to do this, and he should already know how to do this. Yeah. And so they know that he's full of shit. And because like then one time he had to go do some cashiering. And so I was like, you got to learn how to go cashier. So they had somebody go with him, right? To train him how to do it. Mm-hmm. And so when they were done, the person that was training him came back to me and said, this guy doesn't get shit. He's an idiot. And I was like, yeah, I know. Because it like took him like almost like a half hour just to figure out how to log in to the system. Basically to put in a password. Mm-hmm. Your ID, your ID and a password, and it took him like a half hour to figure out how to do that. But
just real quick, there was one guy we used to a long time ago worked with. We were trying to train him. His name was Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy Dean.
Yeah.
The sausage.
Yeah, I know, like the sausage. Yeah, he was Jimmy Dean, and I remember we were like, "Hey, okay, so you need to go navigate to this folder. This is where the files are kept." Mm. He's like, "Okay, what's the folder name?" So we tell him it's right there on the desktop. Right, we're making it real easy. It's like click on that folder right there. So he hovers over it, and he clicks once. Like, no, yeah, click on it. He looks at us. And he looks back at his hand and he clicks once. We're like, no. We're like, no. We're like, me and the other guy and Jacob like look at each other like, what the fuck? Like, it's like, no, click it twice fast. He's like, oh, twice. And we're thinking, what the fuck? Like, we have to tell him when we say click on something, it means double click fast. And so then, click twice. So then, click. We're looking like we can't be fucking serious, and we're like, no, click faster, click.
I think
just to let you know, he didn't last like a week and a half, 2 weeks. He was they got rid of him.
Yeah, I think he's related to Dumb Danny because
because
he did the same thing.
Oh god.
I was like, you got to
said that the logging in problem. I was like, man,
you got to double click on it. Click.
Yeah, click.
No, dude.
You say just
two
you
clicks.
say click on it.
Click. He did the exact same thing. The exact same thing.
I was like, oh man.
I think they're related.
That's horrible.
But anyway, he had to clean all that stuff up, so he spent the whole night doing the clean out the paint, and of course when I got the next morning, I'm like, hey, he didn't want to tell me what happened.
And you already knew,
and I already knew because they had told me because they were like asking me. I was like, hey, did you teach him to put the things on there like that? And I was like, yeah, that was my conveyor belt training that I gave him to make sure to stack everything really high. It's like, why would I have to train him or teach him how to use a conveyor belt?
Yeah, I know.
You put something on it and you push a button. That's all it is. Why am I having to? Why is it my fault? But they were just cracking up because they were like, yeah, we didn't think that was the case.
Yeah, you shouldn't even be asking.
So when he came in, no, they were just asking me just because they thought it was funny as fuck, and they were just like asking me because they wanted to hear my reaction to it.
Yeah. Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah. So.
So what'd you tell Dumb Dan the next day?
So I saw him and I was like, he was like, and he didn't want to tell me because I was like, hey, how'd your night go? And he was like, oh yeah, I was kind of busy, and I was like, well, I was like, because you didn't get any of the stuff done. You said you were gonna get done. He was like, well, I had a lot of stuff going on. I was like, oh, must have been really busy, a lot of customers, huh? He was like, oh, well, there was a lot of customers. I was like, oh, someone told me that was pretty slow because it's usually slow when I work at night. Well, there. I was like, because he didn't know he didn't think I knew.
Yeah,
because he had cleaned it up like really good, like he.
Yeah. He hid the evidence
because he's basically
no way Logan would know.
Yeah, he spent maybe like 2 or 3 hours cleaning that up.
Shit. Oh God.
So I was like, hey, I heard you had a little accident by the stairway.
Shit.
He was on his face, his eyes get all big. Oh, they told you?
Like, you just rocked his world right there. Like, oh shit.
He was like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah. Who told you to stack those things like that? And he's all like, oh no, I must have did it wrong. I was like, yeah, you must have.
Yeah. You should have been like, did you tell him you did it wrong? Or did you
No, he could tell, like he knew when I told him that.
Yeah, I know.
In his eyes, he was all like, I was just like, yeah, you did that wrong. It was funny. Oh man.
Dumb Dad.
All right, so we should probably get to the
we should probably talk about our movies we watched.
All right. Well, talking about the shit shows. We had Morbius.
Yeah. Okay. So
and
that was your choice, right?
That was my choice. So it's a biochemist, Michael Morbius, tries to cure himself with a rare blood disease, but he inadvertently infects himself with the form of vampirism instead.
Oh.
So what did you think of this movie?
I really was hoping for more because, well, it's not considered MCU. I guess a lot of people really hated it, but it's kind of in the world with like Spider-Man and stuff. How I brought up Venom, but I just felt like the editing wasn't too good. I thought the story wasn't that great. I wasn't really sure how he got that blood to turn him into a vampire or whatever he was. Mm-hmm. I just kind of feel like they kind of glanced over that. It's basically like, yeah, I'm going to synthesize this. Oh, by the way, now I'm this. And I don't know. I just felt like the acting wasn't the best. I mean, it's not like Jared Leto's a bad actor. I just didn't feel like it was that great.
Yeah.
Some of the fighting scenes were kind of like, I was just kind of like bored. Like, okay, like it was either too slowed down or everything was too fast. You couldn't see anything. Mm-hmm. And so I was just kind of like, all right. Like, I almost felt like at the end of the Matrix, the third one, like when they fought, it was supposed to be a big old fight, and I was like, all right, I'm basically done with this now. That's how I kind of felt with this movie.
You're just like, I don't give a shit if this ends or not.
Yeah, I really don't give a shit. These fight scenes, I'm just gonna be, like watching some YouTube on my phone or something as these go on. But I don't know. I like the cop. Remember the cops were like chasing him. Like, remember Morbius? He took off. He ran up. He flew up the 50 flights of stairs. Yeah. And the cop's like, meet me on the roof. And Morbius is up there for like maybe a minute and a half, and the cop's already there.
Yeah, they show up like they're all super fast.
Yeah, like how the fuck did he get to what the fuck?
Did you guys fly too?
Like, yeah, exactly. I know. And he's got a gun. Don't move. And he was like, all right, like he could have just took off, but he didn't. And I was just like, I liked Milo, the guy who played Matt Smith, who played Milo. I thought that character was pretty good.
I actually that Milo was the only character I can sympathize with and I actually enjoyed because like he was bullied as a kid and I can understand why he wanted to do what he wanted to do.
Oh yeah.
And if you had that, if you were like disabled like that and all of a sudden you had that power, it would go to your head. I could see that.
Away.
Yeah, I mean, fuck everybody else. Everybody was fucking a dick to me. When I'm a superhuman, I'm gonna fucking take it. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, I've been a cripple my whole life. I've been on death's door my whole life. I'm barely getting by. Like every day, I don't know if I'm gonna wake up. It just didn't. He was a good character. I felt like he did really well. He was a pretty good bad guy, and I felt like you had sympathy. Like you actually connected with him.
Yeah, I felt like I was cheering for him through the whole movie. Like I didn't want him to lose.
With Morbius and Bancroft, like they just felt like they were just like one dimensional. Like you didn't really know much about them, and you kind of didn't really give a shit.
Yeah, because they gave more. It felt like they gave more of a backstory to Milo than they did to Morbius.
Did. With Morbius, you kind of had one, but it was just kind of like it wasn't that big of a deal. Like Milo, like I said, you saw his pain he went through as a kid and stuff. And
but they just kind of
some smart kid.
Yeah, they just kind of skipped anything about him when it was in his youth.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't think it was that awesome of a movie. I didn't think it was that great. I really wouldn't watch it again. I feel like I got most of it already, and I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Like I don't feel like, hey, maybe there's some parts I might have missed that I should go back and maybe re-see. You know how you might catch something or I really don't think I'll do that. There wasn't that much really to this. Like remember when Bancroft's running from the cops and she's running through the bodega and she runs out to the back and the cops chasing her and she jumps on a bus and he's already sitting in there. Hey, remember? Hey, Martine. And he's like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do you know she's gonna get on that bus? She's running from all these guys and through all these streets, and she gets on the only bus that could she could get to that would save her, get her out of there, and he's just sitting there,
just
like,
there.
I'm waiting for you. It's like, okay, like, like if you had the power of prescience, you could see the future, and you could I could get that, but it's like, come on, man, like
it's just too coincidental.
Exactly. It was like it didn't make sense. It was just like fuck. Like I was watching. I was like, how the fuck? I was like I said, it was kind of like the cop getting there up there fast.
Yeah.
They tried to make the cops important, but they really weren't. Like they could have been played by anybody. You and I could have got that role, and we would have done just as bad.
Yeah. Well, the two detective guys, they were just weird. Like, one of them with that mustache.
Yeah,
he looked like Tobias Fuke from Arrested Development. And that's all.
Looked weird, didn't he?
Yeah, that's all. Every time I saw him, all I could think of was Tobias Fuke. And then so like it kind of threw me out of the movie every time he came up and he started talking. I'm like, this guy just looks too cheap. It looks too dumb for this.
Yeah, it
doesn't look serious enough. And I'm like, why? If this stuff was happening on international water and there's like all these murders and stuff, why do they have like some mall cops come in? Yeah, some mall cops begin like investigating. It's what it felt like. They just had some like guys that they're like the rookie year coming in. Like, yeah, we'll just have you guys do this.
And again, all that happened, like you said, international waters. Should there really been an investigation? I don't know.
I don't know the laws.
Like that's supposed to be able to happen without any consequences, right?
Yeah, but I guess I guess I don't know, but people were murdered. But I would think it would be such much higher because they weren't like FBI or like CIA or anything like that.
No, they were just like detectives for like New York or wherever.
They were just like that's what I thought was fucking weird. Why are they involved and not somebody higher on the food chain as far as like the legal wise?
I know. It just I don't know. I just didn't think it was that great. I really didn't think this movie was that good. I really wanted it to be. I like Matt Smith from other stuff he's done, Doctor Who and things like that, and seen him in other movies. He's a pretty good actor. He did good on this. He really showed, he was a good bad guy and stuff, like I said. And but I don't think it was enough to justify the whole movie. And then showing Adrian Toomes at the end, let's team up. It's like,
yeah.
All right.
I thought there was a lot wrong with this movie. I didn't find it horrible. Like I thought it was okay. Like if it wasn't Morbius, if they named it something else or they called it, like Batman. So,
No.
I kept thinking, it's like, why does he call himself Batman? You know, if you're gonna turn into a bat, why wouldn't you do that?
I know. Huh?
Like,
I know.
because like theoretically, Batman is not in that universe. So
I know. Yeah.
Why
You
one
could call
click-
himself Batman, right?
yeah, so like, wouldn't you call yourself Batman or something? Or wouldn't you get that name?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what I kept thinking. Is like, why isn't anybody calling him Batman?
I know. There's bats all around him. What do we call him? Let's call him Octopus Man. It's like, fuck, it didn't make sense.
Octopus guy, get over here! I need you right now.
I know.
And then like you were saying earlier, like I don't know how we got magical powers from DNA from a bat.
I don't know.
Like it was just
that
dumb,
special bat.
because he was able to shapeshift, and I don't care what kind of DNA you get, you're not going to shapeshift or not be able to go back and forth. And then another thing from this movie that bothered me was like, how come you can drink animal blood? He was so like, oh, I can't drink blood, and I'm like, why can't you drink anything from, like, why don't you kill a cow?
Yeah, I know.
Get some sheep in there and just kill them. You have no problem eating regular meat. So what's the difference between getting the blood from it?
I know.
It's
Then
like,
he's all like, then he's all PETA. Then he's all trying to, gotta save the animals as he's chomping on a burger.
I know, but and then like that's what kind of bothered me, because I don't, maybe I missed it. They didn't say anything about it, why they couldn't do that. But he was just like using that fake blood, that blue fucking tapioca pudding
one.
stuff. Yeah, the synthetic one.
You know what they might have? I
don't remember, because I went back and looked, because I watched it. I was like, maybe there's something that they
explained.
That we might have missed. But he was like, oh, I got to drink human blood. Is basically all I remember him saying. But he never. But I was like, what's the difference between like a cow blood or like just a dog blood or something that's not.
I don't
doesn't
know.
have to be human blood, where he can keep his keep himself going and not, he's still not killing anybody.
That's
but
true. I'm not sure.
And then because I'm thinking, like, if he got bit by a bat, right? So because bats they feed off of cattle and stuff like that.
I know, yeah.
So
they can feed off anything that has blood in it.
Yeah. So what's the difference? That part, I that's one of those little things that I just feel like this is kind of annoying that they didn't like cover that or it's just like a loophole.
Yeah, it was a really quick glance. It didn't really make sense, but they weren't going to expand on it anyway.
And it was just like dumb little scenes like that kind of annoyed me. Like when he was like, "You don't want me to get hungry. You won't like me when I'm hungry." Like he was like trying ripping off the Hulk. Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, that was really cringy."
Yeah.
And then the scene, one of the scenes that cracked me up, but I thought was really dumb, was like the scene where they're out there at the coffee place, and she's like, "You want to drink some coffee?" And he's like, because like it was in the sun, right? And she's like trying to test him to see like if he was a vampire.
If he would touch it and get burned.
Yeah, if he'd burn it. Like, well, didn't they walk there?
I know.
They walked there in the daylight, so I don't understand how that would have done anything.
Well, maybe because he was always wearing a hooded sweater.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he had.
I don't know.
It was just like stuff like that. It was just kind of dumb.
I know.
But in the end, and then in the end when Vulture showed up, and then he had the suit. It's like, how did he get the suit? Because he just shows up in that universe, right?
Different world.
Yeah, because the reason they got the suit from the other one is because they had the alien technology from when they got attacked. Yep. So he had all the alien tech is where he was getting from, but they didn't have that there.
I'm not really sure.
So it was just more confusing. This movie was, like I said, it was a dumb movie. Like I don't think it was as bad.
How it abruptly ended.
Yeah, it just abruptly ended, and they went on all these these credit scenes.
Yeah, they just didn't even really make sense.
So it felt like really, chopped together, and it was clunky.
It wasn't edited very
well. There was some good action scenes which I did like. I know a lot of people, when I've read when I read some of the reviews, people were talking, like, hey, this they were really shitty and stuff. I didn't find them that horrible. I did kind of like the visuals on it, which I thought were okay. I thought they were decent. They weren't great, but I think for the quality of movie they were trying to present it to be, because they were trying to make it look like it was like in the Spider-Man universe, in the Marvel universe. But it was almost like it was a generic version of the Marvel universe to try and put it in.
I know. I know.
And I think that's what a lot of people got angry about because they try to make it seem like as though it was a part of the Marvel universe, but that was really connected. But but it wasn't really.
A lot of people don't want it to be either because they're like, this movie sucked.
Yeah.
Please don't add it to the MCU.
So
I don't know.
Okay,
it's whatever. So what would you rank it?
if I was gonna rank it, I'd probably give it like a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay, I'd give it a 2.
Yeah.
I'd give it 2. I would give it a 2 for the action, and again, it wasn't my favorite. I feel like the slowdown was like, and like I said, it was too fast. And then, how fast he was, and then the cop would catch him, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was just kind of
anytime they had the guns out on him, all he had to do was just run. Like he would just got away from him. It's like there's no. It's like putting a gun at the Flash. The Flash will just fucking take off. All right, see you later, right? And so
it was just too many. It was just really inconsistent and
too many inconsistencies.
Yeah,
so I'd give
like
it
I said,
2, but
it wasn't
a 2 for Matt Smith. He carried it.
Yeah, it wasn't like I said, if it wasn't Morbius, I probably would have been fine with it. It would just been like a really bad B vampire movie. And I would have watched it if it was streaming and I watched it. I would have probably been all right with it. If I paid in the theater, I would have been pissed.
Yeah,
but yeah, 2.5.
Okay,
all right,
that's fair enough. So our next movie we had was Day Shift. So that's a hardworking blue-collar dad just wants to provide a good life for his quick-witted 10-year-old daughter. His mundane San Francisco Valley pool cleaning job is a front for his real source of income: hunting and killing vampires. So just by chance, we don't predetermine what we're going to watch. So just by chance, we both had vampire movies. I was just thinking that. So
yeah, I was thinking that we were watching it too. I was like, oh, we got a theme going this month or this week.
So what are you thinking? What did you think?
I liked this movie. I thought it was really good. It was a fun movie. Mm-hmm. I love the stunts. The action scenes were really good, and I really liked the soundtrack to it. Mm-hmm. I was very happy with that. I like the fact they had like different classes of vampires, and and like the way they had their like organization, how to know what kind of vampires and how to kill one and kill the other. I thought that was kind of cool.
The organization was pretty well set up.
Yeah, and I can see this becoming a franchise for what's his name?
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I can see this being a franchise for Jamie Foxx.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like the chemistry between Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco. It kind of to me it felt kind of forced, and not that I don't know, I didn't like the characters. They just didn't seem to mesh very well, or it took a while for them to get together. I think, or even towards the end, I was just like, I'm just not.
They still didn't feel like they really went together.
And but overall, it was a good movie. But there was some continuity that was kind of annoying. Like Dave Franco's character gets his head chopped off, but he's still able to function.
He comes back.
Yeah, but that's how they were killing all the other vampires.
I know.
And that really annoyed me.
I know. I was wondering how his head came back after he chopped it.
Yeah, because like they were just keeping it there, and it was like growing back. Mm-hmm. And then it was, but he was like killing like a lead vampire that's been around for fucking ever, and all they had to do was chop off her head.
That was it.
Yeah, and then
Franco's would come back.
Yeah, and he'd only been a vampire for like a couple hours. Mm-hmm. So there's some stuff like that, but other than that, like I thought it was good. Like I like the driving scenes, like were really good. Like it you could tell. I looked up the director, and I guess he did a lot of the Fast and the Furious movies.
Oh yeah. The chase scenes were pretty good.
Yeah, the chase scenes were really nice. I like the only thing I thought was kind of dumb was like the little girl that was sitting in the passenger side. Like it did seem like she didn't feel anything, but he was like,
I know, she was just watching her.
He was full on Tokyo drifting sometimes, and there was like she had like no movement. She's just like sitting there playing her little racing game.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when Snoop Dogg showed up, I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I like that. So I kind of liked how he's like a cowboy and he had the gun and everything. So overall, it was a fun movie. There's a lot of action. It was, the fight scenes were fucking really good. Mm-hmm. Like it almost like they hired acrobats to do all the fight scenes. I know they were like flying all over the place.
Pretty good. Yeah. Those two brothers were good. Remember?
Yeah.
Those guys were good. There was a lot of good action. Story, it was fine. It was fair. Like you said, some of the things, like you said, with Franco's head, that was pretty annoying. And the head vampire chick, that Mexican girl, was pretty tough.
Yeah.
She's, they killed her daughter that was super old.
I know.
Remember that's your daughter? Like,
yeah, I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, it was good.
And the grandma was fucking mean, remember?
I know, she was fucking vicious. I thought that was one of the best fight scenes through that movie, I thought.
Yeah, it was really good. The fighting, they did pretty good. They spent a lot of money on the budget, with the actors, because they had a lot of actors in there, and it was really well done, like that wise, like I said. But story was fine. It was okay. It wasn't like the best. Action was good, like you said. The driving scenes, the chase was pretty good. So, I found it enjoyable. It wasn't. That and Morbius were both action movies, but I feel like this one was more action and less any seriousness, so it made it easier to swallow it.
Yeah.
It made it easier to like deal with any inconsistencies.
Yeah, Morbius kind of took itself too seriously compared to this one, yeah.
And Morbius wanted you to be like feel sorry for him and this and that, even though he didn't even give you a reason to. He just seemed like an asshole.
Yeah.
Himself. But this, like I said, I found it fun and enjoyable just to watch it, and it was mindless. You didn't really have to, like with Morbius, like, hey, did we miss why he did that or that? Then you have to rewind it, and there was none of that shit like this. It was just kind of like, yeah, let's just enjoy this movie and the action scenes and him and his hot ex-wife making good. They're still, they're still trying to work things out, and it was fun. It wasn't bad. It was a Netflix movie. You could tell it was a Netflix type, movie where, they pour a lot of money into the actors. And effects, and don't really care about the story. But with this one, it was fine just because, it was just a fun, vampire movie. It's not based off anything real. So
because Netflix puts out a lot of shit. But every once in a while, something sticks on the wall and does okay. This is probably one of their better movies that they've put out. Because like we've said, I mean, it's just a fun movie, very entertaining. It's action packed. There's always there's a lot of great characters in it, and like I love Snoop Dogg when he comes in with a Gatling gun and just tears everybody apart.
Yeah, that was great.
And
that was great.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. The only thing I was like, because he does like get bit, but at the end, like I don't know if he comes back, but like you don't know if he turned but then he was in the sun, so like because he dies in that explosion, but
I don't know.
But then he like came back, and I was just like, well, what is he a vampire now, or what's going on with that? But they just kind of show.
The feeling he was.
That's what I was thinking too. So I'm hoping they're gonna do a sequel because I'd really like to see what happens with Snoop Dogg's character. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I hope they do make this a franchise because I do want to. I'd like to see it continued.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good to watch that. It was. I enjoyed it. I'd probably, out of 5 stars, I'd probably give it about a 3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
I would tell people to watch it. I wouldn't be like, fuck that, don't do it. I would be like, no, this was good. You will like a mindless action movie that has good pretty good CGI and a lot of good action. So and the stars are pretty good. Like I said, a lot of people like Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, so. He's a very likable person. And I'm pretty sure he's going to make more Netflix movies because I think they have him contracted or something because he's been pumping out a lot of stuff on Netflix lately.
Has he really? They probably did. Like him and Kevin Hart, they gave him like suitcases full of money, so they have to do this shit.
Yeah, they're like, whatever, I'll do whatever you want. Vampire movie, sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. You gave me like $8 million, and I don't care about any. There's no percentage because it's not coming out in the movies, so there's no percentage, right? So fuck, I'll take this straight up cash. Why not?
Hell yeah. I'm gonna rate the movie probably like a 3.8. No, I'll give it a 3.5. 3.5 out of 5. So we kind of both agree on that 3.5.
Yeah.
All right. So for next week, what movie you got?
I have another Netflix movie called The Bubble.
The Bubble?
The Bubble. Yep. Has Karen Gillan. She was also on Doctor Who. She plays on the MCU. Nebula. I've seen her in Jumanji. Remember, she was the Red Ruby in Jumanji.
Oh, okay.
So, it's got her. It's got again, Netflix is, I think they're shelving out some money for people. So Pedro Pascal's on it and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But that's the movie I'm choosing. What do you got?
So for my choice, I have them going with Netflix too. It's a movie called Carter with Joe Won. So I just saw the previews for it. It looked pretty good. Looks like it's got a lot of action to it.
Okay.
But it should be pretty entertaining. I think you might like this. It looks like it might be dubbed over, or it might be in Korean or something.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw a quick preview and I was like, oh, this looks like something I kind of want to watch. Okay. So Carter on Netflix.
All right, we'll check it out. Hopefully it'll be pretty good. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Okay, so we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night, everyone.
All right, bye everyone.